My favorite ones. Wait, you're live right now?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna be way late. I just realized we're
On
gonna
Twitch?
be doing this video for another 2.5 hours. So I just wanted to say that I'm not gonna be live tonight.
At all?
Where are you live?
My stream.
You're on Twitch right now?
Yeah.
Right now? What the fuck is... Why?
Because I have to tell. I just told him. Because we're gonna be late. Because we're
Twitter like an adult. What are you doing?
I'm gonna use Twitter. I'm gonna use X.com.
Get on X.
The everything app.
Everybody's on X. Everything is on X, and they would know if you put it on X.
He's such an X shill. Dude, this whole episode, this is a spoiler, right? Doug talked about doing ketamine like Elon Musk, and Aiden says he wants to live a life of Elon Musk. Politically. That's what he said. So it was a tough one for me, folks. It was a tough one for me, but...
We really cornered him.
This is... Show the hair.
And Doug said, and I quote, I like Kanye West's new song. And it was clearly based on the content of the song and not the production.
Yes.
It was crazy. I was like, well, how could Doug say that?
Yeah.
It
is wild.
And I asked him, I was like, is it production or is it lyrics? And he was like, lyrics.
Yeah,
he was like,
mostly the lyrics.
I actually didn't listen to it. I read the lyrics and I was like, wow, that's powerful.
I didn't really listen to the album. I just went to Genius and like checked out.
You know what's funny is you just
clicking on the
you just
explanation
leaned
behind
into the microphone.
Oh my god, you're so right.
I'm going to show you guys the toilet pipe. This is the secret. Look at the toilet pipe. The toilet is the lemonade. Dark secret. The dark secret of lemonade stand. And then... Anyway, I'm probably going to end this stream. This is a true legendary stream, one of the greats. But unfortunately, we're running late here.
I haven't made it in a long time.
Because we have to watch, we're going to watch The Big Short. And it's going to take at least 2 hours, and then I'm going to be late to stream, so I thought I'd go live. I'll probably go live afterwards.
So in this way, you're kind of on time.
And this way I'm on time.
Yeah.
Because if I change my title in 2 hours, I'll be like, oh, late. But if I do this, it's like, hey, I was ready.
You know what would help? I think I'd speak for everybody. It would help the disappointment of him not going live tonight is to see that hair. Take that hat off, bud. Let's see what that looks like. Pop that up. Show that. Wow. No, that's not what it looked like last week. It didn't look like that.
This is.
It looked a lot cooler.
Different.
It looked a lot cooler.
Yeah, definitely way different.
Guys, I got so many comments on my hair. So many.
It's all of the comments.
It's all of the comments. And we tried something different that episode, and we didn't get any feedback on it. We only got comments on bald.
Weeks.
He did. He actually did. He spent so much time researching, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. What people say about that? And it was like, Atrioc looks like Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man, but the emo one. Anyway.
Hey, I thought you looked like the normal Tobey Maguire.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Did you know he's like a... Tobey Maguire's the one that's a real asshole in real life, right?
Nah.
He made a song called Hail.
Tobey Maguire made that?
Didn't Tobey Maguire do the poker thing where he was like...
Yeah, but...
Yeah,
I think it's like one of those things. People, I think Tobey Maguire was really mean to the paparazzi harassing him like multiple times, so people started this Tobey Maguire's a terrible person narrative.
Okay.
But it's not...
But based on the book Molly's Game, isn't he an asshole who like tossed chips on the ground to make people pick up off the floor? Like,
is that real shit?
I don't know if it's real shit. I'm asking you. You're the fucking Molly's Game guy. You're
I'm
the Aaron
Molly's Game
Sorkin.
guy?
Aaron Sorkin's the greatest author and director of all time. If whatever he says is true.
Aaron Sorkin's my goat. Not really.
Let's get Toby on the pod.
I think we should.
Yeah, we could shake him down about it.
Is Tobey Maguire being rude? How rude is he in real life? You look like the... What? Guys?
Did they say you look like the purple M&M?
No. What should they? They're saying... Who should we get as a guest?
Yeah, but
Hey, they're saying you have an in with Lena Khan and you have to get her on the show.
Lena Khan?
That's what they're saying. They're saying you have the in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I can talk about this on Atrioc's stream, but my in fractured a bit.
Oh, yeah. Don't talk about that. Don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's too personal to tell that story. We'll tell it's not the club. He cut Lena Khan off in traffic, and it was and it was a huge pain in the ass for her. Anyway, I'm holding everybody up. We're going to watch the movie. Sorry, guys. I just want to tell you that I'm not going to be live on normal time today. I'm going to be late. If I'm live at all. Probably live.
This is an amazing way to communicate this.
Well, it's just there's no better way because otherwise people will not believe me unless I go live. They're going to think I mismanaged the situation. And I'm just telling you that this...
By going live, you've repaired it.
I've repaired it. Guys, thank you. Goodbye. Any last words, Doug? I know you've been dying to say something.
I had some thoughts.
Yeah, please go ahead.
I know you're going to enjoy Atrioc stream for the next 2 hours. Why not kill some time on DraftKings? Just head on over to DraftKings, get your free bets, sign up for like a really convoluted parlay.
No, we don't. That's not
You
what we
can do
support on
that.
this stream. That's not our ethos. Okay, goodbye. Yo! Yo. Hello. I'm going live right now. Bro, I just got home. Is this thing on? Tester 2101, good to see you. Knox Noah, good to see you. Greased Wheel. Viddy Div, Spider Pig, Painless Siren, Karain. I was going to say thank you to Stream Elements, but that's a bot. Hello. Dundee Dog, Something Mango, Stegatops, Wyatt, Matcha. Remy. Don't call me Crody, okay? Fucking... How was The Big Short? It was good. I just finished it. A little long, I'll be honest with you. A little long. It's like, I get it. It was the whole global financial collapse, but like, get to the point. You know what I'm saying? Some banks did some bad things. Some people lost their houses, yada, yada. Get to the fucking point. Will The Big Short reaction only be for T2 patrons? I think so. I'm not really the numbers guy, the technical guy of this podcast, all right? I'm sort of the face. I'm sort of the bald. This is my, oh my God, my hair is so fucking hat hair. Okay? But I'm not afraid to put it on camera. Okay? Jesus Christ. Or maybe I am. God, it's so flat. I've had a hat all day. I did get a haircut today. I thought it looked nice earlier, but now, now it's all fucking hat. I thought it was good. God damn it. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, folks? All right, I'll put it on. What you lack in hair volume, you make up in gyat. You're coming in at a 9 p.m. stream to tell me that? Are you fucking hitting on me? What is this? What is this you up text that I'm getting? That's a text for 6:30 p.m. opener. This is too late for that. I like the hair on the pod. Well, just to be clear, while I appreciate it was controversial, the hair on the pod. Got a lot of reactions, which, by the way, is exactly what we didn't want. You know what I felt bad for? Fucking Doug, who spent 2 hours with a presentation he spent an insane amount of time on, breaking down the future of the medical industry, and then you go to the comments, and every comment is like, Atrioc looks like Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man. Atrioc looks like Jimmy Butler when he had his emo hair. Atrioc looks like, and it's like, all right, I do look like those things. You're not even wrong. You're actually correct. It wasn't. And then here's the problem: is like it wasn't like it was a choice. I just want everyone to know the truth of that hair. Well, you know, if you guys want to see, maybe you guys didn't see the episode. Let's pull it up. YouTube. I'm sure Reddit has it. Actually, I'm sure the Reddit has my hair. Dude, what a fucking picture. What a fucking picture. Okay, it wasn't good. Okay, I'll be honest with you. It wasn't my best look. It was because I was supposed to get a haircut that day. And I went to the barber before the episode. And dude, the people that are reacting the first time they've seen it are fucking fake. Fucking fake ass fake. Then you know, the barber, he had a death in the family. He had a fucking death in the family. So I couldn't get my hair cut. I didn't even have a hat. And then the only hat I was able to wear, and this shows my pride. The only hat in the studio that I was able to wear was Aiden's yard hat. And I said, I'd no. I said, you think I'm a fucking traitor? You think I'm gonna wear a fucking yard hat on this pod? I'll wear my hair down. And so I fucking did this and just greased up my hair and put it down. And then I went live. And you know what? I don't even fucking, I'm gonna bring this look back. Mid-age Justin Bieber. Yeah. Yeah, say it again. Tobey Maguire at looking yeah, I fucking rock it. All right. I'm not walking it right now. Actually, I was gonna wear no hat today, but now that I've worn it, it's too fucking late. The hair's all fucking matted. Chris Farley looking you look like you've done one too many plastic surgeries. See, that's just a fucking insane thing to say because I haven't done any plastic surgery. So that's just saying you're thinking my skin looks waxy or something. Kind of weird. Why don't everybody who's saying something send me a picture of yourself and we'll pull it up on stream and we'll all make fun of that. I saw that hair and assumed both your wife and your dog left you. Okay, brother. How do you feel about the controversy on Ludwig's stream right now? I have no idea. Google Sigma, I come up. Damn, how could he be so Sigma and yet so Alpha as well? My God. So I'm sure you guys all look like this, right? This is... You guys are saying yep. I haven't even shown you what it is yet. It could be, I could show you anything. You're saying yep. This is what you guys look like? This is how you're typing yep like this? Is it tough with those muscles to guilty as charged? Well, holy shit, how'd you find my room? What a doc. I'll be honest with you. While it is, you do look quite good physically, your living space leaves something to be desired. Kind of messy. Little Asmongoldie, okay? Clean that up. You know, there's more than just physical attraction that matters. The ability to have there's too much dust on the monitor. I got to be honest with you. Yo, Atrioc, when you planning on dropping a kid? And if so, would you adopt more EU-friendly hours post-spawn? Do not talk like this to a regular human being. Don't call it dropping a kid and don't say post-spawn. Just speak normal. Ask a normal question. Christ. It's not a Fortnite POI, dude. It's a child. I was thinking about this recently. Let's fucking get into it. It's late night. No one's fucking here. We can talk for real. Deliver his awe in Tomato Town. I was thinking about not specifically children. I was thinking about how I kind of want to stream earlier. I feel like something I've been running into is the problems of streaming late. Especially as I try to fit in more healthy stuff. I'm not saying as early as stands. Don't get me fucking twisted. But if I was like the late half of Squeak's hours, you know, like middle of the day, like what if, hear me out. I'm not going to do this, but hear me out. What if I streamed 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific or 6:30, like 3:30. I usually do about 3.5 hours. So 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. And what's also true is like every time I stream late, I get fucking hungry. But what if I ended stream and then had dinner? But also, it's worth saying, like, I never have dinner with my wife. I never have dinner with my wife. She's always bringing in food here, and I eat it on stream with you guys. And it's like, what if I just didn't do that? What if I I'm just thinking. It would be interesting to try an earlier stream. The problem is, and you guys are not going to fucking believe me, but the truth is, one of the great things about streaming late is I feel like I usually try to have like understood and read 3 pieces of news. That's what I try to do for most streams. So I can have like at least 3 long form articles that I've read that I can feel like I can jump in if we need it. Usually I can try to riff, but if we can need it. But if I do it earlier, then I'm worried. What I don't want to do is be reacting to things as they come in. I like it when I've digested something and have a take. I like having a take. I don't like making my take on the fly. So I think it's still doable, but I'd have to plan better, which I'm not great about. Gotta do that in the morning instead? What do you mean the morning? I'll never do the morning. Nah, bro, my day is NL into Squeaks into Lud into you. If you move shit around, it'll be awkward for me. You are watching too many streamers. You're watching too many streamers, bro. Low key. Low key, that is not an efficient way to use your day. Low key, also high key. Just being for real, for real. I'm reading How to Get Filthy Rich in Rising Asia, and it's pretty good, but the guy giving advice reminds me of the Precepts guy from Hollow Knight. He's not giving advice. The advice is a way into his very insane life story. He's not like it's not like the book is not about how to get filthy rich in Rising Asia. The book is about the story of a young man born into poverty, and the trials and tribulations that come with unexpectedly getting wealthy. Seems like you aren't taking the advice in yet. Well, part of the advice would be to go bribe somebody in India. I think to start a construction bit. You know what? I'm not going to do that. That's not. I guess I did send Squeak that check. But does it teach me a little bit about getting rich on crypto? We just talked about this on the pod today for the Patreon app. We talked about the idea. I've mentioned this before, but the concept of financial nihilism. The idea among the youth that what's the fucking point of saving my money? I'll never be able to save up enough for the things that I want. So I might as well either YOLO spend it on dumb shit, gamble it, or put it on things that have 100x chance of return like crypto. The idea that like getting a 10% return is not fucking worth my time. It's not going to make a difference in my life. If I only have a few grand to invest, it needs to 100x to be life-changing. Which I think is obviously a horrendously damaging way of looking at the world, but very common, very prevalent. House Day is still on tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going live after basketball in the morning. So I'm going to go to basketball. I'm going to come home. I'm going to eat. So I'm not eating during. And then we're going to watch a butt ton of House. That is the fucking plan. That's the fucking long and short of it. That's the tea. That's the whatever. Bro, I got so many fucking DMs about my hair on the podcast. You know what's extra fucking annoying in my position? Not that I have the hardest job in the world. I do, but I don't talk about it, okay? You know what's extra fucking annoying? Is that every single time that I shave, every time, for now 4 years, people say the same thing. They act like they're brand new. They act every time. We've had this conversation before. This all has happened before. In 2021, we've done this. We've done this exact same thing. And every time everyone's like, it's crazy. It's like I'm in a fucking endless cycle. And everyone acts like You just have to shave sometimes. History does repeat itself. It's the fourth turning. Just because time moves, the facts don't. Do not fax your own fucking statement. Because it's crazy to clean shit every time. It's not crazy. I think it's baller. I feel like it's fucking base to like especially right around the beginning of summer, to reset, dude. Take the whole fucking thing off. It's already coming back because I have the testosterone of a fucking Greek warrior. Okay? It'll be a full beard in 3 days. But I like to just shave it. Just fucking go clean. Start over. Get it all off your face. Why not just be unable to grow facial hair like me? I guess the grass is always greener, huh? Badoop. I forgot that I turned off streamer mode. Now you guys are all hearing the fucking Discord. How about that, huh? Bing bong. Ding dong. I don't know. I turned it off so I could make that thumbnail of Squeak saying, "You think you could beat me?" And I'll say, "Prove it," or on the Squeaks video. I turned off streamer mode so I could get the name. I can't wait until we can turn our genes off and on at will with AI. I don't think that's what Doug was talking about. I do think one of the scariest things about the future of medicine is that CRISPR shit. That idea of you being able to gene edit your child before he or she is born. The idea of being able to pick like, oh, I want this eye color and this intelligence and this designer baby shit. That's not AI related. That's Gattaca shit. 2 5'6" white people having a LeBron baby because they paid for the LeBron package. I don't know, dude. People will soft sell it by being like, okay, well, think about the upside. We can get rid of all these diseases, or we can get rid of these problems. We can, and then you're like, oh, well, that sounds good. But then you think about this weird advantage that the rich will have. And by the way, up until now, the rich have never had an advantage over the poor. So it's like, this will be a big break. I'm just worried that if we let the rich have an advantage over the poor in society, that could be bad, right? I want to make sure we don't cross that line, because right now we have a pure meritocracy. And I'm just worried that if the wealthy can artificially design children to be literally physically better, that's going to create this weird 2-tiered system, even in areas that were traditionally not, things like athletics, things like school competitions, things like that, where Red Rising type beat is a good way to put it. I guess one thing you could do is, like, if you have no money and you're dead broke and you can't afford the comprehensive package, just like spring for the hustler package. Make sure your kid, maybe they're not 6'8" Giga Chad, but they have the hustler gene, and so they'll make it work, They'll fucking grind it out. Make sure they have that attitude of like, I understand it now. Poor, so I have to gotcha roll for my kids' genes. Dude. You know how we're always talking about this dystopian world where everything's kind of gotcha? Where like you gotcha your paycheck and this concept that I was talking about. Well, guess what? I don't know if I can find it. I hope I can find it. It's so funny. Guess what, dude? No. No, come on. Oh, here it is. I found it. Check this out.
Welcome to Mumbai locals, my friends. Serving 7.5 million passengers
Why does this not show? Oh, I'm on the PS5.
every day. But a lot of you travel ticketless, huh? Last day वाटत का? Do you know that the railways is losing thousands of crores every year because of this?
It's fucked
And
up.
it is hard for ticket inspector to check everyone in this crowd. But while many people don't buy train tickets, they spend billions on another kind of ticket.
What kind of ticket?
Lottery ticket. And that gave us an idea. Presenting Lucky Yatra. Now, every train ticket can become a lucky ticket.
Isn't that crazy? People weren't buying train tickets. They were just scamming, but they were buying lottery tickets. So they just merged the two. So now everybody buys their train ticket, gets a chance to win. It like solved the problem. It's kind of crazy. It's like a good idea, but like it's spooky in a way because it leads right into what I was saying, which is that as humans, we are so motivated by gambling. It just breaks our brain that you could use it to motivate anything. You could fucking lottery your paycheck. You could lottery your health care. You could lottery your... Yeah, it's very Clancyville coded. I do want to say that. I feel like I've let Dan Clancy off the hook recently. And that's not my intention. I feel like I'm sort of like the rebels in Andor. You know, where this season I'm sort of laying low, but I'm building up to something big. I am like Cassian. Yeah, I am like Cassian. I'm very Cassian coded. Latino, fighting a revolution. So you're a terrorist. I'm a terrorist on Clancyville. I will say that. Well, it was one man's terrorism, another man's revolution. Fuck, dude, some people just say some weird shit. What episode are you on? I'm caught up, bro. You think I missed a fucking day of Andor? I'm a binger for that. 3 episodes come out. I watched 2 the first night, and I beg Ari to watch the 3rd. She goes, no, I'm too tired. I'm like, oh, please, come on. It's a cliffhanger. And she's like, no, I'm too tired. And then we go to bed. We watch the 1 tomorrow. But that's quick. That's quick, dude. That's quick. I get it. I get caught up. Is Clancyville like Gorman? No. Clancyville is like Coruscant, dude. It's the heart of the Empire. And I'm like Mon Mothma giving the brave speech, dude. I'm the fucking one standing up. I am the fucking problem for them. Rogue One, best Star Wars movie of all time, argue with a wall. This is a dumb fucking take. I will argue with a wall. Rogue One is great. It's not the best Star Wars movie of all time, bro. I'm going to say something fucking controversial. Rogue One's fine. Fine. And, I'm sorry. Rogue One's like a 7.5 that adds a point or 2 because of the last 5 minutes. Like, if you take out the last 5 minutes, most people will be like, yeah, that movie wasn't very, like, it was fine. The pacing is actually pretty bad in that movie. Rewatch it. And a lot of what happens doesn't actually even matter. So it's like a weird, but then they have a really nice last 5 minutes that leaves you on a high note, which is good. I think most movies should try to end on their best part to leave you walking out good. So many movies lately end with 30 minutes of wind down bullshit. Why? End when the fucking ending is good. So many movies feel padded lately. Feel fucking padded. Anyway, Andor absolutely clears and sweeps Rogue One. Rogue One is really more of a... In fact, I know that Rogue One went through a lot of reshoots from Disney, and I think they cut out a lot of what would have made it good, honestly. I think a lot of Andor is fine. It's kind of mid, and then it ends really strong. But I think that the best Star Wars is probably Empire Strikes Back. That's a fucking good movie. That's a well-paced movie. That's a fire movie. That opens strong. That ends strong. The middle is strong. The fucking romance is crackling. That's a good fucking movie. Boomer, it's just the truth. I'm sorry, it's just the truth. It's like you gotta say the truth. You know, Mon Mothma once said that when we deny the truth, we deny what makes us human, okay? When the gap between what you say and the truth gets wide as an abyss, she is cooking, all right? And the fact is that of all the Star Wars movies, the best one is Empire Strikes Back. It is funny. I'm not spoiling Andor, but if you guys haven't seen Star Wars, or if you haven't seen Andor, you know, it's the story of the rebellion in the gritty details, the little shit, the sacrifices they make, the fucking, the smuggling, the underground stuff, the politician speeches, it's all the gritty details of revolution, the oppression on the ground. Anyway, it's so funny to watch that, knowing that all of their sacrifice for years of this show is so that a dumbass farm boy can go, yeehaw, and use the Force. Like, Luke gets all the credit and does all the fucking work, and it's because of, like, a fucking decade of planning by more serious people. Because the first Star Wars movie, 4, is like, it's more of a fun, lighthearted action adventure. And then it's even funnier to think that all of that happened so that Luke could get this shot, and then Luke hits his shot, defeats the Death Star, you know, the rebellion is huge, and then it doesn't even matter because they run out of ideas and they do the Death Star again 2 movies later, and then they run out of ideas and do the Death Star again the movie after that. There's 3 fucking Death Stars. What a joke. What a joke. Just one more Death Star, please, J.J. Abrams. And then, yeah, it's so fucking wild that all that work and all that revolution, and they have episode 6, and it's like, we did it. We finally beat the Empire. Emperor Palpatine is gone. J.J. Abrams, but somehow he returned. It's just fuck off, dude. Fuck off, you fucking talentless hack. You fucking... Dude, I feel like J.J. Abrams literally... I'm saying literally in the actual sense. Like, I think if you could see out of J.J. Abrams' eyes and he looked at you, he would see a literal cash cow. A stupid, dumb, mooing cash cow. I don't think he actually sees people as people. Because those movies are fucking insulting. They insult the fucking audience. Do you prefer Rise of Skywalker or Last Jedi Be Real? Do you prefer someone hammering a nail through your left nut or your right nut? I don't care. It's torture to watch either one. I don't care. Whichever one's shorter, I prefer. I mean, I guess, honestly, if I'm being real, The Last Jedi is boring and a total rehash, but fine. The Last Jedi is like, hey, we're going to take A New Hope and make it again for young people. And it's like, fine. Fine. I'm not going to freak out over it. The final one. What's the last one? What's the last one called? The fucking... Force Awakens. I'm sorry, Force Awakens. Force Awakens is fine. What's the Rise of Skywalker is by far the worst one. By far. Somehow Palpatine Return is one of the dumbest thing of all time. Yeah, Rise of Skywalker is the worst. It's one of the worst movies I've seen. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It's so stupid. It has so many dumb scenes. The scene where she has the fucking dagger and she lines it up with the crashed Death Star. It's the dumbest. It's so dumb. He just fills the movies with these stupid MacGuffins. Oh man, it's gore. It stinks. It's smelly. If you're in a theater watching that movie, you can smell how bad it is. It like wafts off the screen like smell-o-vision. It's trash. You can't blame JJ for that though? Yes, I can, and I do. I do. I mean, I blame both of them. I blame Disney. I blame JJ. I blame Ryan Johnson. I blame them all. I blame all three of them. They had this petty infight and they fucked it all over. They fucked it all over, well and good. The comics wrote the Palpatine cloning story a decade earlier. All right, well, the comics also wrote a fucking 40-part series on Glup Shitto's colonoscopy, but we don't need a fucking movie about that. Okay? I don't care. Make a good movie with new characters. It's a big universe. It's a fucking big galaxy, and we're still dealing with the same people, the same kids, the same villain, a fucking Death Star again. By the way, I would have preferred the colonoscopy story, because at least that's fucking different. God, dude, the Starkiller base is one of the dumbest things of all time. They make the Death Star out to be this fucking incredible multi-decade empire project when the Empire controls the whole galaxy. And then, here's the new Empire. They're small and they're hiding, but they can build a better Death Star that blows up 7 planets at once. It's like a child. It's like a child talking about their superpower. Nuh-uh, 1,000 times infinity. Nuh-uh, I have a super force field. It's fucking incredibly stupid. It's incredibly stupid. It's so stupid, dude. It's so fucking stupid. It's so fucking stupid. And then, the Death Star at least looks cool. It's like one of the most iconic weapons of all time. Big moon-sized base. Boom! Blows up a planet. All right? That's incredible. Fucking Starkiller base. Little fucking square on a planet. Shoots out 7 things. Woo! It's so dumb. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Man, it's dumb. What a waste. What about the fucking part in Last Jedi where Ryan Johnson says, hey, I really don't give a shit about Star Wars. I don't give a shit about the internal rules and logic that has made up this entire franchise. I don't care. I want a really cool scene where a ship goes into warp speed and cuts through another one. I don't care. I don't give a shit. Let's just fucking break everything that's ever been done because I'll have a cool looking scene for 2 seconds. No, it's fucking stupid. It's fucking stupid. It's so stupid. Okay, you understand that in that world where that works, then the strategy of every battle ever is to make some fucking drone-controlled TIE fighter that can go to hyperspace and just cut through the big ones. Just kamikaze. It doesn't even have a person in it. It doesn't make any sense. It just ruins the fucking whole... It's so dumb. It's so dumb. And after seeing Andor, it makes me more frightened. All the movies, actually, other than 4 and 5, really barely 6 is fine. Other than 4 and 5, the rest of the movies just don't seem to fucking care. But Andor cares. It builds a real crafted world. Everything makes sense. It moves logically. This builds from this. The reason there's so many ships here is because this place has a lot of resources. Andor cares. The people on it care. But you can tell the directors of 7, 8, 9 don't care. They don't care. It doesn't matter to them. It's a paycheck to them, and they have something else they want to do. Star Wars is a way to get money to make a film that they want to make that has nothing to do with Star Wars. And then 1, 2, and 3, I will say, George Lucas tried. I like 1, 2, and 3. I really do, because I grew up with them. George Lucas tried. They have a lot of heart. They have a lot of like new stuff. You know, I think the problem with 1, 2, and 3 is that George Lucas can't write dialogue to save his fucking ass. He just can't write dialogue. He doesn't have that ability. If he had someone with him who could fucking say, George, this is truly dog shit. This fucking dialogue between Padme and Anakin is truly dog shit. But like, if he could just make up the stuff, like there's that part in episode 1 where all the Gungans line up to fight all the droids on the grassy fields. It's like epic. It's cool. It's awesome. You know, it's like the two different kinds, and it's cinema. And it's like, if that wasn't mixed in with Jar Jar going, oops, Misa so stupid. It's like, no, dude, no. Why? Why you gotta fucking mix that in? That was the biggest problem. And then, of course, like the pod racing, like that's awesome. It's a cool idea. Like he's invented a sport that would exist in the world of Star Wars, and it feels real and it's cool. And then they make the pod racing scene last fucking 55 minutes. And it has all these little lines of fucking the worst child actor you've ever seen going, now this is pod racing. And it's like, damn, this could have been so easily sick. You're like right there. You're on the fucking edge. It's so close to being awesome. But they just, they fumble at the finish line. That's the problem with 1, 2, and 3. Even the third, like, I think 3 is probably the best of the original trilogy. You know, it's got some real good scenes. But 3 ends, like it's the climax scene. It's the most important scene. Sets up all of the original trilogy. How does Anakin become Vader? How does this happen? And they have this epic fucking lightsaber duel. Climbing up things, falling on things. And then it ends with Obi-Wan saying, it's over, I have the high ground, because he has a fucking 2-foot incline on a small hill? What are we talking about? They've been fighting, literally one of them was like this, on a ladder. They've been fighting on a ladder. They've been fighting while hanging onto a wall. They've been fighting on different, but this was over? It's so stupid. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. Why? You could rewrite that in 10 minutes and make it better. It's like poetry, it rhymes. In German, he says, I'm better than you. That's way better. That's a better line. The German one is better. It's the high ground. Nothing Anakin could do. You know what's funny? There is something Anakin could do. He could go to the left. He could just jump to the left. He could do a fucking quadra. He could do anything. He's done in this battle a million other things. Palpatine's speech in Chinese. What is this?
Et la rébellion des Jedi a pu être matée.
Que s'est-il passé?
Le chancelier parle d'incompris au corps fomenté.
That's not Chinese.
Pour renverser le Sénat.
Et pour le reste des Jedi, nous avons donné l'ordre de les
French. This is French, bro. Why'd you say Chinese, bro? That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Obi-Wan appealed to his ego and taunted him with "Don't try it." Bro, I wish I could shake you by the shoulders and say you deserve better. It's like George Lucas is punching you in the face over and over, and you're like, no, he means well. No, you don't understand. This is what he means. And it's like, no, you deserve better. You can have better. They've made better with Andor. You deserve better. It's not that hard to write a better scene there. It's fucking wild that they just get lazy. They just slop out with it. Even George Lucas himself has done better ones. 4 and 5, they have this gravity to it. Not like you understand. I speak Chinese fluently. How does Rogue One compare to the prequels? Again, Rogue One has a lot going for it. I think they just suffer from the problem of, part of it is that they introduce a lot of characters they know they're going to kill. So they don't let you bond or breathe with them. That's a part of it. That's a part of the problem with Andor. But also the problem with Andor is like, I'm not Andor. Andor has no problems. I mean, Rogue One. Rogue One, they know how it ends, and it all feels like they're just trying to fill time till it gets there. It's just got this weird pacing, you know? I noticed it a lot more on rewatch, where it just feels like they're just doing random tasks to fill time to get to the big climax. Which is a lot like sex. But I don't hate it. I mean, I still like Rogue One a lot. And I think, man, it's a tragedy that, not a tragedy, that Mads Mikkelsen doesn't get more time in it because he's incredible. I think the opening and closing of Rogue One are so good that it makes the rest of the kind of mid-movie elevated. It feels a higher tier. The opening of Rogue One is beautiful and cool and very Star Wars. My favorite kind of Star Wars. And the ending is like the coolest of Star Wars battles. And like, it makes Vader seem like this real fucking threat. And then in the middle was mid. The middle was mid. Yeah. Thoughts on Solo? I'm not a Solo hater. It just doesn't feel, I don't know what it feels like. I like Solo. It's fun. It's just like, it doesn't feel like a Star Wars movie. I don't know. It's kind of like it feels like a long TV show or something. I don't know what it is. It doesn't feel like a movie. It feels like an episode of something. I don't know. I don't know how to say it. Like a fanfic. Oh, the one dumb part about Solo is like, why does every fucking prequel to anything feel like they have to explain with like a stupid story every aspect of the character? Like, do we really have to have a real fucking stupid reason why his name is Han Solo? Because he was a solo traveler and they fucking put it. I think that's so cringe. It feels so cringe. Leave some stuff, leave the universe with some mystery. You know, maybe his name is just Han Solo. Maybe that's just, does it have to be, the worst of this, we haven't talked about this yet, but if I'm going to rant about Star Wars, we can talk about this. The worst of this is, episode 1, Metachlorians. And everyone's talked about this ad nauseum, but it really is so stupid. Why take something as interesting and broad and beautiful as the Force, which lets you as a storyteller go in any way you want, and bring it down to like little fucking cells? It's so stupid. Why Metachlorians? Why? Why give it a science thing? Because that's how it works. It's not real. The popsicle is how it worked for 30 years, and then he decided, you know what? We need to add this. It's dumb. It's dumb. The urge to create a power level is too strong. Yeah, exactly. Like giving it actual power scaling. Oh, this guy has more metachlorians, therefore he's a stronger Jedi. It makes it feel so small. Hey, babe.
Yeah, brother dog.
The dog. Speaking of a dog with a lot of metachlorians. What a sweet doggy. Get both. What a sweet dog.
You're such a bitch.
What a cute dog. Maybe she's like, I don't know, she's like nervous.
She is nervous. She does not want to be on camera.
What a good dog.
She's a very sweet dog.
What a sweet pup. What a sweet pup. Can you make her high five or no?
Well, she's nervous. Maya, high five.
Good girl.
Good. Okay, you gotta let her go for that
All right.
one.
All right. What do you think about the Star Wars movies? We're talking about them.
You know what I think.
What do you think?
I think they're bad, but I like them.
Which ones do you like and which ones do you
All
not
of
like?
them.
You like all of them.
Yeah, it's just the prequels are just boring, but I still like them.
What about the new ones, 7, 8, 9?
I like them, but they're really bad. It's like The Hobbit, you know?
Oh yeah, you do like
I
the
love
Hobbit.
The Hobbit.
Oh God. God, the Hobbits are so bad.
Yeah, they are really bad. It's just like, it's not that hard to make a decent movie.
Yeah.
And they're not even that, you know?
I know, it's kind of
Except
fucked
the first
up.
Hobbit, that one's great.
It's fucked up.
It's so fucked up, like... Why can't they just, like, if they're gonna do such a bad job, why not even, like, consult fan fiction? That'll be better.
At that point, yeah.
Like, at that point, it'll be better. Like,
for Star Wars, they should have. I'm sure
someone's like Wattpad.
there's like a million fucking Star Wars books they could have stolen.
Yeah. Like,
for the
canon.
fucking. They could have gone anywhere with it. They could have gone Thrawn. They could have gone KOTOR.
I mean, that's like, I don't want to watch a fucking show.
They could have gone Darth Jar Jar. That would have been better.
It's the Old Republic.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Maybe they should do a movie about that because it's.
They could have done the Glup Shido fucking journey. I would have watched that over. Somehow Palpatine returned.
Yeah. Well, okay. I don't know why people have such a problem with that. Like, it's fine. Like, the whole movie sucks, and that's what you're gonna complain about?
Because it's so cringe. And like defeat the whole point of like Anakin Skywalker's whole journey is he finally throws the Emperor down the thing and he saves his son and he dies doing it. And then they're like, now he's back.
Well, you can say the same about the Death Star, though.
Yeah, I do. I do.
Andor died for the plans, and it just gets rebuilt like no problem.
They rebuild it in fucking 2 movies.
Yeah, it's like so stupid, and it's like upsetting. But at least we have Andor.
We do. That's what I've been saying. I've been saying
That's
the
right.
one
Like,
saving
actually-
grace. The one saving grace is that Andor is like
that's like
raw
the
and
only
real.
good besides like New Hope and 6.
No, 5 is the best one.
I meant 5. I meant Empire. Sorry.
Empire's so good.
That's like it. I don't know what you're talking about this though.
Oh, I don't know. I was talking about this either. I just kind of got on a fucking wave.
It's like crazy because coincidentally, I'm waiting for my blue milk tea to finish brewing.
Nice. Yeah. You're wearing the mummy shirt.
It's a mummy shirt.
She's dressed like Evie from.
No, it's not. It's just from Universal Studios.
But it's the mummy shirt. You have Evie's hair too.
Wait, I have a pimple right there.
They made fun of my hair like a lot.
The new haircut?
Not the new. Well, that's hat hair.
I mean, it was terrible.
Yeah, it wasn't good on the pod.
And
I
then
know.
Let's ask the chat. We don't like the shape. We want the beard, right? Because like he's bald here, and now he's bald here.
This is not a great. You shouldn't be giving them this.
Yeah, let's see what they say. Like, do we want bald Atrioc or beard?
No, we like this nice, clean. A little stubble's not bad. The beard gets itchy.
I know.
It was too
itchy. You need to
itchy.
moisturize.
Wrong.
Yeah, beard. Everyone's saying beard.
Wrong.
Yeah.
What if I get a stash? Bring the stash back.
Oh, like you look like the guy from Inside Out, the dad.
Yeah, the dad from Inside Out, or Henry Cavill from Mission Impossible 5.
No. You don't even have his butt chin.
I do need the butt chin.
Like that.
Maybe I'll get plastic surgery.
No,
we'll get
just
that
get like
extended.
those double eyelid tape and put it here, and then go like this.
Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, I'll just squeeze it in.
Yeah.
Like this. Look at that.
But you don't have his lips either, so.
He's got a lot of. It's gonna be a tough shoes to fill.
Yeah.
I guess it could be like Tom Cruise, huh? Because he's small.
Oh yeah, but you're taller than him.
I am taller than Tom.
Okay. All right.
All right,
He's probably done. So.
All right. I'll see you soon. I'm just talking chat.
You're just talking shit about Star Wars.
Have you developed your hardline, unshakable stance on the Iran-India war yet? Well, it's Pakistan-India, so I guess step 1 is you should know the countries. I guess if I'm going to teach you about it, you should know the 2 countries. that are involved. I can tell you one thing about it. I'm not gonna. This is certainly not the time for me to go into fucking Pakistan, India, but I will tell you one thing that is fucking crazy. So, you guys may not know this. Can I get like a map? Here. Boom. Copy. Paint. You may not know this, but Pakistan here is largely supplied militarily by China. I was going to draw a Chinese flag. Well, I'm not going to do that, but this is China. just know that it will say C, right? Pakistan is largely supplied militarily by China, and India is largely supplied militarily by the West. Okay? That includes America, but not limited to. They also have European and other manufacturers. Until now, Chinese military tech has been yet to be tested against, top tier Western tech in any sort of military combat situation. Again, without going too deep into the conflict, this recently happened where the brand new Chinese jet, the F-10 Dragon, maybe I'm wrong on the call sign. Let me make sure I got that right. Maybe the J-10 Dragon. The J-10 Dragon, the J-10 Vigorous Dragon, I'm sorry, shot down the French jet that India had bought at like 100-meter distance. No, longer than that. Sorry. Maybe actually, I think a really long distance. Where's the French? Yeah, the Rafale. The Rafale jet. Okay? And what is fucking crazy, what blew my mind, is that as the fog of war is clearing on this J-10 Dragon shooting down the French jet, the stock price of the Chinese company that makes the Dragon starts spiking. That's the fucking world we live in. As the markets are real-time recognizing the value of this fucking plane being at possible parity, they start bidding up the price of Avic Chengdu Aircraft Company 40% as the fog of war is clearing. That's wild. What a world we live in. How do we know it was a pilot diff? It could have been. I'm certainly no expert on the difference between the J-10 and the Rafale, okay? What I'm saying is that the market is trying to price in this new reality. And in fact, and this is direct quotes. The direct quotes, there's no better advertisement than a real combat situation, said Yun Sun, a Chinese military affairs specialist at Simpson Center. This came as a pleasant surprise for China. The result is quite striking. That's wild.
That's crazy.
Oh, are you gonna give me a sip?
So I thought you were still talking about Star Wars. I brought the blue milk tea.
Oh yeah, I'm kind of talking about India, Pakistan now.
Look, it's blue milk. You see that, like right there.
Yeah.
Okay, try it. It's pretty tasty. It's like vanilla. It's milky.
I don't like it.
Stupid.
Like if I was Luke on that planet, I would not be.
Well, he wasn't happy. That's the whole point.
I wouldn't be.
Like I was gonna
pick
pick up some power converters at Tashi Station or whatever he complains about.
I was just saying how annoying it is that like this whiny little kid gets all the glory after all the things Andor does.
But he like earns it.
Does he earn it?
Yeah, kids are allowed to like mature and grow up, you know.
He grows up in 3 days, traveling.
No, he speed wrecked because of the Dagobah like train.
No, the Dagobah's after he blows up the Death Star.
Yeah. Well, he really did just like man up, huh?
He just stole the revolution.
Put on the big boy pants.
And he was just born with it, apparently. Oh, he has more metachlorians, thanks George Lucas, so he just wins. Stupid.
Okay, cool. I'm sad you didn't like it. The tea.
I am sad too. I forgot where I was. I was talking about Star Wars, and I was talking about India, Pakistan. You told me you never KS playing League? Yeah, I KS in League. I play Fizz. I just don't say I'm leading the revolution. Yeah, the J10 and the Rafali. Sorry. Anyway, it's becoming this weird, I don't know, proxy of Western and Chinese military tech. It's very Cold War coded. It's very similar to Cold War era skirmishes and proxy battles. And it's odd, is all I'll say about that for now. What else did I want to talk about? I had other things. The UK trade deal. Can I cover that? Oi, bruv. The UK trade deal. Okay? Let's talk about it. So the first of Donald Trump's trade war trade deals have been signed. He's supposedly negotiating hundreds of them, personally involved. And this is the first one to finally get signed. This is the big announcement. He's been hyping it up for days. And it's our trade deal with the UK. So now we're bruvs with our bruvs again. But the deal is pretty light on any substantial change or details. And in fact, keeps the tariffs in place. So it's, it's not a major change, but I'll kind of go over some of the context here. Here's the USA. Here's the UK, our long and storied history. Here actually is the EU, which is also important. Okay, what's interesting here is that the UK used to be part of the EU. And for a long time, we were trying to sign this trade deal. This is during Obama. Between the USA and the EU, we were trying to get a trade deal. It would have been the largest trade deal like ever. A comprehensive trade deal between the USA and the EU. This is during Obama. But we couldn't quite get it done. It's very difficult. There's a lot of people in the EU. They all had different things they wanted. Trade deals are not super popular on the USA side either, so it's just tough to get through. Nothing happened. And part of the reason, not all of the reason, but part of the reason when they were talking about Brexit in the UK was that, hey, once we get rid of the EU, we'll be able to negotiate our own trade deals directly. We'll get one with the USA and everyone else. The EU is holding us back, and we're going to get great trade deals. So that was the idea of Brexit. So then the UK has Brexit, but no deal gets signed. No deal gets signed. And a lot of things are tried to be forced through, but nothing happens. Brexit ends up being, pretty much economically a disaster. The UK, I think Obama has a direct quote where the UK is back of the queue. Which is crazy. But they're not even in the line for a trade deal. Negotiating, it takes time and they have other things in front of it. So this is bad. Okay? The trade deal doesn't happen. Flash forward to today, Donald Trump has basically a trade war with the UK where he throws up tariffs on their goods. But because the USA and the UK are both kind of eager to get a deal going, Donald Trump needs one of these things to be a deal to start the snowball of other people maybe getting a deal. Nobody wanted to be first. And the UK needs a deal because, honestly, Keir Starmer needs a win in general. He's polling really badly. That's the PM over there. And they've been wanting a deal for a long time. So they hammered out a deal that just came out. This is the UK-US trade deal, but it's very light on specifics. Basically, what it is the tariffs still remain on the 10% tariff on all UK goods going to the US, except there's exemptions for a few key things, like the first 100,000 cars they sell. Now, the UK only sells 120,000 cars to America anyway, so it's basically it's a weird exemption for UK cars. Okay. There's a few other small things that get exemptions, but overall it's a few key industries are exempt, everything else 10%. And then the UK promises to buy a bunch of Boeing planes. They're going to buy a bunch of Boeing planes. Boeing. And that's the deal. I'm not kidding. And the UK lowers some tariffs. Lowers, I think, from like 7 to 4% or something. So, it's, and by the way it's written is all so informal. It's all like, we will in good faith try to do some things, or like the actual hard and fast rules. The whole thing fits in like a post. It's real compared to like an actual trade deal, like something like NAFTA or any of these big trade deals. It's so light on specifics and feels more like a feel good, we signed a deal, than anything comprehensive. So does this change anything? The market was flat on it. It's like not so good, not so bad. No one really knows what to think about it. It could lead to more deals getting signed, but at the end of the day, it hasn't changed the reality of now we have a trade barrier with the UK that we didn't before, which is the tariffs. I would say overall, it's pretty inconsequential. And certainly doesn't change our ability to get deals signed with our major partners, which are like Japan, China, India, EU. Those are the four that like really need to get figured out. So that's a small, brief update, but I guess it's progress, just in a really, really wishy-washy way. It's very performative. Yeah, it's very performative. If you look at the actual specific deal, it really feels like more like both Trump and Starmer wanted a W. They wanted something to announce. But as a matter of like changing trade, it doesn't really change much. It's not. Yeah. Yeah, it's very Fent Czar coded. Is an EU deal mostly a Germany deal? No. No, I mean, listen, Germany and France are the economic powerhouses of the EU, but it's more than them, for sure. Yeah, and I guess the key takeaway is that the way Trump is seeing this is that even once a deal gets made on a close ally acquiescing to demands, we're not getting rid of the 10% tariff. That's like just permanent. So, I mean, the economic costs of that are going to be pretty severe. If nobody can deal their way out of that, and that's the new thing, then it's kind of an L. Yeah, I don't know. I think the real question though is, again, my prediction has and remains that the three that'll be easy to sign are sorry, I'm reading this question. Isn't a broad 10% tariff among the highest in the world? Yes. How's European South, Italy, Spain, Greece, etc.? Pigs is doing good. Portugal, Italy, Greece, Spain is doing good, or relatively good. But I hear reports on the ground that it's not so good, so maybe not. But economic data is good. I think Italy's a tough spot, very Japan-esque situation. I don't think it's as bad as Japan, but yes. I mean, a lot of parts of Europe have the rapidly aging society problem. That's hitting worse there than it is, for example, here. Missed stream because I went to a funeral. Wait. Tariff cuts for Jaguar, Land Rover, UK, benefits an Indian conglomerate. Yeah. Well, it's just cars. UK cars. The first 100,000 of them are tariff free. and they only sell 130K. So essentially, it's a exemption for UK cars. Shouldn't Italy's economy be great because of all the spaghetti? That's a great question. That's a really powerful question. I do think that every time anyone anywhere eats spaghetti, they get money somehow for that. So it should be they get royalties, yeah. But other than that, no major changes in the UK. I did want to watch a video on Saudi Arabia's economic crisis, because my understanding is that Saudi Arabia, in the past few years, let's say the past 5 years, has been dealing with a very high oil price, which is really good for them. As an oil exporting nation, they make a fuck ton of surplus cash when oil price is high. And they've been using that to buy sports teams, build crazy mega projects like the Line and that giant fucking square, invest in tech companies. They've been buying esports. They've been flush with cash. And most of these things they've been buying are bad. Like, they're not economical. They're stupid investments. So as the oil price has been crashing, it's way down. Suddenly Saudi Arabia finds itself with a ton of bad spending, bad debts, and way less income. And so they're encountering a real economic crisis. I mean, it's kind of breaking OPEC lately. And so I want to know what this, some more specifics on this. So we're going to watch a video about Saudi Arabia's economic crisis.
To you by Ground News. Even before the recent decline in oil prices, Vision 2030, Saudi Arabia's ambitious plan to diversify its economy away from oil via a series of eye-catching mega projects, wasn't...
Wait, let's look at it again. Whoa. Billions of bets in the gaming industry, billions of bets in the sports industry, billions of bets on building Neom and EcoCity and the Line. Yeah, I think Neom is the Line, huh? But they also built that gigantic square in Riyadh, the cube.
Wasn't exactly going to plan. Costs were overrunning, foreign investment was drying up, and the kingdom was running chronic deficits. However, the post-Liberation Day crash in prices has made things markedly worse. And on Tuesday, the Saudi Finance Ministry quietly admitted that they had borrowed more in the first quarter of 2025 than ever before. So in this video, we're going to explain the recent crash in oil prices, how it fits into the...
I mean, I respect them trying to be more like America by borrowing absurd amount of money they can't pay back. I guess more like every goddamn country in the world, really. Well, I don't know why I'm isolating us. Everyone's fucking doing it. Just fucking whatever you want, borrow for it.
The Saudis' $100 a barrel project, and what this ultimately means for the Saudi economy.
Everyone? Yes, China. China is indeed borrowing like fucking crazy. China has about the same debt. I mean, if you do total debt combined, like state plus government, China's like 300% debt to GDP. Norway isn't. All right? But not every country is a relatively small, homogenous, oil-producing nation. Very, very small group. Most countries are fucking borrowing. All right? They have fucking things they got to build or do. Ain't Norway.
If you're a TLDR fan and want to support the channel, then consider picking up a copy of our magazine. Too Long helps to fund all of our journalism and allows us to make free videos on YouTube like this one. You can learn more and buy a copy by clicking a link in the description. So to understand this story, you need a bit of context. As one of the world's largest oil producers and its largest exporter, Saudi Arabia's economy is dominated by oil. In fact, the oil sector accounts for roughly 90% of export earnings, 80% of state budget revenues, and 40% of GDP. Although much of that remaining 60% of GDP is in some way dependent on the kingdom spending its oil revenues.
Yeah.
While this might sound great, after all, who would say no to billions of dollars in oil revenues? This dependence on oil creates both political...
Me, I guess. I guess I'm just brave like that. I'd say nah. It's not about the money for me. I would still drill the oil, pump the oil, and sell the oil. I just wouldn't do it for the money. I still want everyone to use oil. I just don't want to make any money off it. I think I do it for the love of the game. Do you know what I'm saying? It's the happiness of drilling.
and economic problems for the kingdom. Politically, it's a problem because oil alone just can't provide enough jobs to keep the growing Saudi population employed, and creates a vast inequality between those in oil and non-oil sectors.
Right.
So in order to keep the unemployment rate down to politically palatable levels, the government has to basically make up jobs, which is why something like 2/3 of working Saudis are employed by the public sector. Economically, this is a problem because this dependence on oil undermines the competitiveness of Saudi Arabia's other export sectors via a phenomenon known as Dutch disease. And it just won't be...
What percentage of Norway is public versus private? I'm interested. What percentage of Norway jobs are public versus private? Because I feel like Norway is almost the same thing. I feel like Norway makes a fuck ton of money off natural resources, and then everyone has a job with the government. What percent of Norway jobs are public? They are the OECD country with the largest share of public employment. It is 31%. The average of other OECD countries is 18%. All right, so it's not a majority, but it's a lot. It's a lot. 1/3 of all jobs are government funded, which is provided by oil.
Sustainable if oil demand declines in the coming decades. Even if demand persists, a dependence would still leave the economy at the mercy of oil price cycles, which have become increasingly volatile, making any rational economic planning pretty much impossible. To give you a sense of quite how volatile prices have been in recent decades, consider that between 2007 and 2011, oil prices doubled, halved, then doubled again, before plummeting to unprecedented lows in 2014 and...
Dude, oil is the original crypto, dude. It's a fun ride. You could just fucking... We should all be buying barrels, dude. We should be fucking... Robin Hooding oil barrels to make some real fucking cash. We should be hodling.
Briefly going negative in 2020. Anyway, to remedy these problems, in 2016, the kingdom's de facto leader, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, announced Vision 2030. An ambitious plan to reduce the kingdom's dependence on oil by developing its non-oil economy.
Dude, it's so funny. Maybe he's going to say this. I shouldn't say it, but I want to say it in a funny way. It's like, hey, our whole economy is oil. So let's take some of our oil money and invest in smart, future-forward things. How about fucking esports? How about a dumb esports tournament? How about we buy a bunch of sports teams and overpay for all the players? How about we invest in the worst tech company startups of all time? How about we give $100 million to fucking... Actually, $100 billion to Masayoshi-san so we can punt it on WeWork. That's how we leverage our future of this great nation.
In practice, this basically involved doing two things simultaneously. One, developing Saudi Arabia's export-led industry.
They're investing like their teen boys buying all their favorite things. No, but literally. No, but not as a joke. Though their investment strategy reads like fucking rich teen boys with infinite money being able to just buy what they think. Yeah, I need a soccer team. I'm gonna drastically overpay for it. We're gonna build a league. Drastically overpay for it. We're gonna build an esports tournament. Drastically overpay for it. We need some cool tech stocks. Drastically overpay for it. It's crazy, and that's the future of the. That's what the post-oil economy is supposed to be, and it's all these bets by
industries like tourism, mining,
princelings.
and manufacturing to the point where they're internationally competitive and don't need to be subsidized by oil revenues. And 2, developing Saudi Arabia's domestic economy to increase domestic demand and reduce imports by doing stuff like investing in education, building infrastructure, and providing cheap loans to small businesses. Now, this was always ambitious. Most oil exporting countries have struggled to break their oil habits, and those that have, most notably Norway, have achieved this by investing their oil revenues.
Can we get an email called Snorway that we can spam whenever Norway tries to brag about something? I'm sick of it, dude. I'm snoozing. I'm snoozing at Snorway. Like, we get it, but it's still cold, okay? It's still fucking cold up there.
Over long periods of time.
You still have, like, these long winters. You still have, like, the dark... You have seasonal depression.
The timeline outlined by Vision 2030, however, is remarkably short. By 2030, MBS wants the private sector to account for 65% of GDP,
Bro, come
with
on.
half of that coming from SMEs, non-oil products to account for 50% of all exports, and renewables to generate 50% of the country's electricity.
Bro is dreaming.
Getting there this quickly was always going to be expensive, which is why, after the pandemic, the Saudis decided that they wanted to push the price of oil up to $100 a barrel in order to make sure that they have enough cash in the bank. This was also pretty ambitious. After all, oil traded at around $60 per barrel from 2015 until the pandemic. But the Saudis were optimistic that they could achieve this because of OPEC+, the expanded cartel of oil-producing states that now includes both Russia and Saudi Arabia, and thus has massive sway over global prices. Unfortunately, though, this plan didn't really work, and prices settled at around $80.
Nah, I really want to go into this because it's fucking fascinating. Okay, so look. OPEC is a cartel, right? They get all these oil countries to team up and choose to voluntarily export less oil so they can keep the price high. The idea is that they all compete, it'll drive down the price of oil and they won't make as much money. But if they all agree to only voluntarily do a few million barrels each or whatever, then they can all make more money. And one of the things they did around this time period, this 2015 to 2024 time period, was the United States started to get into shale and fracking, okay? And the shale revolution, where the Permian Basin in Texas started to add a full Saudi Arabia of oil output. Sorry, Saudi Arabia of oil output. I'm circling India. A full Saudi Arabia oil output, okay? That was the plan. But then Saudi Arabia is like, okay, OPEC, here's what we got to do. Here's what we got to fucking do. We're going to all team up to voluntarily cut our exports to drive... Actually, no, sorry, opposite. We're going to team up to mass produce oil to drive down the price so it drives these companies out of business so they can't be profitable. That was the plan. So between those years, they voluntarily extra exported. Like they drove down the price of oil on purpose to try and make this non-productive. And it didn't work. For whatever fucking reason, U.S. shale did not die. Even though it was not making any money, it just barely hung on. And then as it hung on, it kept growing. And now the United States has so much oil output, like, again, a full Saudi Arabia added, that it's kind of breaking OPEC. It's like, it literally is an under-discussed story because it mostly happened, like the real breaking happened, again, this happened over many presidents, but the result of it happened during Biden. And Biden did not want to talk about his victories in the oil market or like how much oil we were pumping because it's not a Democrat talking point. So it's under discussed, but it is a big deal that like OPEC's power has been dramatically reduced since COVID, largely because of advances in things like shale and fracking, and because some of these OPEC member states have gotten antsy and started to like skirt the rules a little bit of the cartel.
Unfortunately, though, this plan didn't really work, and prices settled at around $80 after the pandemic. This was in part due to a raise in non-OPEC production, including from Canada, Brazil, Guyana, and the US via shale. But it was also because the Biden administration started releasing oil from the US's strategic petroleum reserve when prices got too high. This caused immense frustration within OPEC Plus, and members started resisting further cuts. Angola actually quit the cartel last year, and it's become clear that some of its members, most notably Iraq, Kazakhstan, and the UAE, were pumping more oil than they were supposed to.
Yeah, they were cheating. Oh, that's great. Yeah, perfect example. So again, as the cartel started trying to control prices by telling people what they could pump, and it wasn't working, they got desperate. And so all these OPEC Plus members started being like, okay, we're going to sneakily, because everybody has their own individual incentive. If they're like, hey, everybody, we're not going to pump oil to make the price up, but then you secretly do, you make a huge profit. So everybody at OPEC has an incentive to cheat the system of OPEC while hoping everybody else follows the rules. And it's actually been kind of like breaking down because of they have lost their control over. It's very interesting. Like, this whole story is very interesting.
This caused deep frustration in Saudi Arabia and forced the kingdom to unilaterally cut production by 2 million barrels a day in order to keep global prices high, bringing Saudi output down to its lowest level since 2011.
Yeah, prisoner's dilemma, yeah.
This also meant essentially accepting lower revenues in the short term, despite the fact that the Saudi budget was already coming under strain from the cost of MBS's Vision 2030 mega projects, like the Neom Line City and the new Saudi Football League. This caused government spending to surge, the Saudis to start running a chronic budget deficit, and the all-important break-even price, i.e. the price that oil is required to be for the Saudis to balance their budget, to rise to about $110 per barrel, according to Bloomberg Economics. This is why the recent crash in oil prices, which have now fallen to around $60 per barrel, looks so tough for the kingdom.
Yeah.
The immediate cause of the crash was Trump's Liberation Day, which dampened demand forecasts. But it's been exacerbated by the fact that the Saudis have...
By the way, also worth saying, this crash in oil prices directly harms Russia. It makes Russia and their aggression in Ukraine much harder to sustain. So much of what funds the Russian war machine is higher priced oil. In fact, I saw an extremely convincing mathematical argument that showed that one of the worst things we did to hurt Russia was sanction their oil right around here. Because all that did was drive up the price of oil, which they then sold on the black market or to China and made more money anyway. And in fact, you could make the argument that the best way to hurt Russia in the war would be to have U.S. ships escort Russian tankers to their destination to basically help them sell as much oil as they want. Because it literally would actually drive down the price of oil on the open market and hurt their ability to fund their fund. It's like, the way this whole thing works is very interesting. The way commerce plays out, the way sanctions play out is very interesting, especially if some country as big as Russia has a buyer like China or India. Like, you can sanction a small country for sure on oil if you have enough market power, but a big one you really can't. They will always find a buyer. And so it actually was weird how it ended up driving it up. Anyway, now that that's kind of changing and the oil price is crashing, it's hurting all the oil-based economies.
Liberation Day, which dampened demand forecasts. But it's been exacerbated by the fact that the Saudis have started to unwind some of the voluntary cuts that we mentioned a moment ago. A tacit admission that their $100 a barrel policy has failed. If prices stay here, Goldman Sachs estimates that the kingdom will run a $67 billion budget deficit this year.
That's nothing.
Well over double.
Just to be clear, we do that in a day. Get on our fucking level, Saudi Arabia. We do that in a day.
The government's current forecast. This might even be an underestimate, because on Tuesday, the Saudi Finance Ministry quietly admitted that the kingdom had borrowed an unprecedented $30 billion in just the first quarter of 2025, the highest quarterly figure on record. If the kingdom continued to borrow at this rate, this would imply an annual deficit of about $120 billion this year, or about 11% of GDP, which would be one of the highest in the world.
Okay, that's actually fucking crazy high percentage-wise. Holy God.
Now, to be clear, the kingdom does still have enormous cash.
The U.S. is running about a 6-7% budget deficit. of GDP, which is World War II levels. Just to be clear, it's World War II levels. 6 to 7% of our GDP is in deficit. Yeah, we have a deficit as the size of, not 67. But that is World War II level of deficit GDP. It's not a good number, but it's crazy to have 11.
Cash reserves, and its debt to GDP ratio is around 30%, well below most equivalent economies. Nonetheless, even if there's no immediate risk of default, although the cost of insuring Saudi debt against default is at the highest level it's been since 2020, the kingdom will still be wary of eating too far into its foreign exchange reserves, which are mainly used for pegging the Saudis' rial to the US dollar.
What?
And structurally lower oil prices will also force MBS to
buy me a barrel of oil before you peg me. Didn't get the... What happens with this? Wait. GG, Saudi's going to have to sell Ronaldo back. Bro, not even a joke. This oil price keeps falling. The soccer team's not holding up, dude. The price does not make sense.
Dramatically scale back his Vision 2030 plans. Enthusiasm for Vision 2030 is also waning. Lots of big projects like NEOM have suffered recurring delays and reviews, and foreign investment seems to be drying up. The risk for MBS here is that if oil prices stay low, then he'll have to pare back Vision 2030 so far that it becomes unrecognizable, and the kingdom will lapse back into a total reliance on oil. But understanding how Saudi Arabia and OPEC really plan to manage oil prices isn't an easy topic, and as such, there's plenty to read about it online, with 184 sources reporting on the recent cuts to production. The issue is, how can you be sure that what you're reading here isn't hugely biased?
That's an ad for Ground News. That's an ad for Ground News. No, but I mean, if you knew that, if you could figure out what OPEC is planning next to try and get oil prices up, that's fascinating. I want to read more about it. I would love to know who's got speculation on that, because it underpins a lot of other things. Like, again, some of what Iran does with funding other organizations is trying to cause chaos that drives the oil price up, because that's where all their money comes from. OPEC coin. Wouldn't the Crown Prince of Saudi know? Just DM him. Yeah, I'll DM MBS. I think Aiden knows him. I think Aiden knows him. I'll fucking send him a DM. I'll ask him what's up. We'll chop it up. Not literally, though. When the cash dries out, they can't buy any more friends if the long play is tourism. Yeah, I hope the long play isn't tourism for Saudi Arabia, but it's crazy because there's so many things they could have invested in, and I feel like they picked the dumbest ones. So it feels like a real squandering of a moment where they were printing money hands over fists. Crunchy Butter, thank you for the 34 months. Love the content, Big A, but I have a question I need you to answer for me. Let's say you're offered $17.6 billion to peel and eat an entire orange. The orange and orange peel are provided for you. If you're having trouble peeling the orange, someone can do it for you. Also, you don't have to eat it if you're not hungry. What do you do? Just to make sure I understand the question. You're going to give me $17.6 billion. And all I have to do is not eat an orange if I'm not hungry. I refuse. I refuse. I refuse. Something's fishy. I refuse. You know? I'll take $5 a day. Yeah. Because the real Sigma goes for passive income. I don't want a lump sum. I don't want a fucking lump sum, dude. That's the dumbass answer. There was a great... Did we watch this on the financial advice TikToks or whatever? That guy who's like, you have three choices. You can get $100 million now. You can get $2,000 a day. Or you can get an 850 credit score. The guy's like, credit score. Credit score. That's the real... With credit score, I can borrow, do whatever I want. You could... That shit was so funny. That was gas. You got to take the credit score. The ability to borrow is the most important thing. I have a pretty good credit score now. I'm just being real. I probably have like an 800 credit score. But what I realize is it doesn't, unless you, the only thing it gives you is access to more debt. But if you don't want to take on debt, it gives you no benefit at all. There is nothing you can do with it other than take on more debt. So why do I give a shit? I don't want debt. Yeah, you get cheaper debt or better, but what it's still debt. It's like, I think America, we're so debt coded, dude. Everybody just is so comfortable with lots of debt. I don't like it. I understand. Like, it's not unreasonable to have debt, especially when you're young. You know, you're investing in yourself. Could be student debt, could be a car loan. You need a car to get to work, whatever. But it's just crazy how comfortable we are with debt. We talked about Klarna on the pod today. It's Patreon, so I can kind of share. They just asked some questions. We talked about it. It's just wild, I think, how widespread the usage has become. You know, people are using it for groceries. They're using it for life events. They're using it for clothing. It's just huge for clothing. And it's no good. My burrito, yeah. If you have the ability to pay it back, is it really a problem? If you have the ability to pay it back, why did you use it in the first place? Is the real question. And I think you'll find that the answer is some people use it for the psychological feeling of like, hey, it's cheaper now. And they can afford it and it's fine. But the most users are using it for the obvious reason, which is that they don't have the money right now. And so they're trying to spread out their payments so they can afford it. And they're buying more than they can afford. So you're more likely to get into a bad spot. I don't know if you guys know how Klarna makes its money, but it's not just on the late fees. They also take a cut from the merchant. So why the fuck would like, let's say it's Urban Outfitters or something on the what's the place you buy clothes? Let's say it's fucking Urban Outfitters, okay? The website. You're gonna buy a fucking cool flannel shirt. The reason they give a 6% cut to Klarna is because people buy more clothes when they have Klarna at checkout. They would never put Klarna on their website and give them the cut unless it's proven that people buy more shit. So it's just a fact that a user will check out more clothes, more items, more food, more whatever than they would have if they couldn't get access to the debt. Which means they're buying more than they can afford, which means sooner or later they're going to get caught. Sooner or later they're going to get a late fee. That's significant. All right, I'll move the monitor. Christ. I sold furniture credit cards for years. This is 100% true. Sold $10,000 TVs on 5 years. Yeah, dude. When people are paying the minimum, that's more of a credit card thing, but like, you can turn a small payment into a fucking lifelong one. You could have people paying way more because they can only afford the minimum at the time. That's why you really, you got to be careful with debt, man. That's the mind killer. Literally. Study showed that if you have an upcoming bill that you don't know how you're going to pay, it is equivalent of mental damage of missing 2 nights of sleep. Literally, they had people take a test. They were taking tests, and the stress from upcoming financial trouble is the equivalent of your mind's stress and unable to focus as if you skip 2 nights of sleep. So it actually is just a stress thing. Now, obviously, some people, sometimes you have to take debt. Sometimes you have to fucking fix a car or whatever. But if it's something you can avoid, man, understand you're probably doing yourself a favor, your future self a favor. If consumers are taking on too much debt, who's taking the other side and how can it possibly be well collateralized? What a great question. My God, what a great question. In terms of buy now, pay later, the other side is these companies, Klarna and fucking Afterpay, who in fact are a lot riskier than they pretend. They have a lot of bad loans. Their default rates are seemingly quite high. People are less likely to pay than they think. And, I read Klarna's S1 when they were about to IPO, and they're not even profitable, bro. They sell fucking debt and they're not profitable. Because there's they have an adjusted rate, but they take out all the fucking defaulted ones. Did you see Conor McGregor tweet about the Irish Bitcoin reserve? Conor McGregor, Twitter. Isn't he a convicted rapist at this point? All I know is I killed his ass in Hitman. Crypto in its origin was founded... Crypto in its origin was founded to give power back to the people. An Irish Bitcoin strategic reserve will give power to the people's money. Bro, this shit is such horseshit. This is such a grift. What a grift. How does having the government of Ireland fucking take tax money to buy fucking Bitcoin give power back to the people? It does pump the bags of Bitcoin holders, I'll tell you that. That's what it's good for. Guys, I'm ending. Thank you for watching. I went a little late, but I just wanted to talk about a few things, and I'll be back tomorrow for a house marathon. Got basketball in the morning, got to go to sleep, and I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to pencil in a time for you here. I think it'll be around 2:30, but let's say 3 to give me some wiggle room. I think 3 p.m. is a good time. 3 p.m. It'll be right after I eat basketball, eat, shower, go live, house all day. If anyone has that house bingo board, bring it. We'll do a fucking house bingo. It'll be fun. 2 tooth hurty. I can't. Bro's going to the dentist. Plus fucking 2, dude. Yes. Fucking yes. How does he do it? RV best tweets? Oh, not what? If I do best tweets, I'm cheating on House. If I do House, I'm cheating on best tweets. I guess I can't fucking win, huh? I guess I can't fucking win. No, I'll probably just do House tomorrow. Honestly, let me tell you what I've been thinking. I might do House Saturday and Sunday. Because I actually want to finish it this weekend. I might do House Saturday and Sunday. I don't know what time Sunday, but I think it would be good to wrap it all in one big fucking weekend. That's what I've been thinking. No guarantees. I usually have to do Ari stuff on Sunday but it'll be good. Anyway, tomorrow for sure. See you at 3, possibly even earlier. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. Goodbye.